What's the story about?
On top of that, this strange young man rescued a child trapped in a local apartment fire.
Idiots are so cool.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. Yeah, we missed last week, and I just haven't been really doing much, man. Just been reading a lot of manga, and, barely turned on the PS4 the other day, played some Neo 2, and just been chilling, man, during this COVID stuff.
I've been getting into Persona. I know you just finished 7, Julian, but I'm playing the first Persona on the Vita and just doing some Smash stuff with that new controller that I got finally.
Nice. It looks nice, by the way. Even though it looks like a jelly bean buttons.
Yeah, dude. They look like when I first saw it, I was like, dude, they look kind of weird. But then I started using it. I was like, oh my god, this is so much better than just a regular controller. Like, there is a huge difference between them.
Hell yeah. But yeah, I just beat Final Fantasy. But aside that, I've just been trying to figure out what I'm gonna play next. Which I have figured out what I'm playing next. I'm playing Kingdom Hearts, the DLC. I'm trying to finish it. Adam, that boss battle with Luke Serd was so dumb, and you want to know why? Because if the controls of the game weren't floaty, like if it wasn't so floaty, I think I would have beat that boss battle in sooner tries.
Oh, dude, yeah, man. But see, what gets me with that fight the most is that once you get into like his last stand, and then you're inside those pillars of cards, and he goes, "Okay, hit me," and then you go to hit a card, and if you don't hit the specific card, it has like 2 bombs around it. You're fucked.
Yeah.
Or he'll immediately change the card right as you're about to hit him. It's like, dude, you can't do this, man. This is straight cheating.
Yeah, it was bullshit, but I beat it, and I'm glad. And then yesterday I beat Ansem.
Nice.
So all I have left now is just Zemnis. But I think I could get it. It seems like you just gotta block a lot. Just wait for like an opening. But it's kind of hard to. My problem so far with those boss battles, all of them, was like figuring out the opening and like the small windows they have on them.
Right. I know. If I remember correctly, with Zemnis, as long as you can get him, he always brings you up to the air. But you know that move where Sora starts like free falling down, and then you can hit X to like dive into the Keyblade?
Yeah.
Okay, that is gonna help out a lot. But yeah, just once you find those openings, just keep going in for it.
All right, hell yeah.
Now when you unlock the last 2 doors, just let me know, man. One of them, I need to know your reaction. I'm not gonna tell you who it is, but I just need to know.
Man.
I was yelling. I was like, "Oh, God!"
Fucking Nomura. Anyways, but yeah, the DLC. God, I think I'm gonna talk about Kingdom Hearts for a bit after playing Final Fantasy. Honestly, man, like Final Fantasy knocks it out of the park compared to Kingdom Hearts. But I still love Kingdom Hearts, though. I still love it. Like, I'm still going to be a diehard fan. It's just, I'm definitely going to jump back to 2 again sometime soon. Because I just keep playing 3, and I'm just thinking to myself, man, if this was the way 2 was, it'd be really good. And I'm like, I'll just go play 2 again. Yeah, and then, also, Adam, after beating, I don't know, it's just a thought that came to mind, but after beating Final Fantasy VII, it just came to my mind, like, why the fuck are the Final Fantasy VII characters in fucking Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah, dude, the more I try to think about it and try to make sense of it, I never find an answer. Like, I always want to say that when Kingdom Hearts first started, they didn't really have a lot of original characters. So that's why we got to see Cloud and Squall, Yuffie, and Aerith. But then once we started getting a lot of characters, I'm like, okay, we don't really need them. But, getting Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts was just, I think it's one of the funniest things ever. But
yeah, because, now understanding, what they mean in their respective games.
Right, exactly.
It makes it, if Sephiroth was out with like if he was along the ride with the villains of Kingdom Hearts, I think the villains would win like nothing, you know?
Oh, definitely.
So, but yeah, it's just some thoughts in my mind that I've been thinking about with the correlation of how I beat Final Fantasy VII, going back to Kingdom Hearts 3. It kind of feels like a backtrack a little, but I'm still having a good time. I'm not super complaining because I love both those series now. Man, I really fell in love with Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Dude,
but
I'm telling you, you just got to play the original. It's really good.
I'll definitely give it a go. But yeah, I'll give updates next week on that DLC. Hopefully I'll beat it by then. But yeah. Other than that, I think I've been just playing a bunch of Call of Duty.
Call of Booty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, gamer.
It's time. Where's my Baja Blast? Right now.
Cool, man. And hey, we got an email here from our boy Mark. So he's got his question here, and we could get more into it after we answer it. So he says, a lot of anime, manga, video games are ending, and leaks are appearing on the internet. I had no resistance when the novel anime of the final volume of Konosuba appeared online. I just had to see it. While the leaks are out for Last of Us 2, I can easily ignore. So I got him thinking, what are some leaks that you saw because you had to know? And what are some you had to tempt yourself not even to look at?
Oh, man.
So, for me, what I had to know was for God of War, the latest one.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like a good, maybe like 10 hours in. And I was like, you know what? I have to know if Thor's in this game or not. So I looked it up and, I saw, what's going on with him in the game. And I was like, okay, that's all I needed to know, if he was in here or not. And I think that's the only time where I really wanted to dive in and see what's really going on, spoiler wise.
I think the one for me was, and I don't know if you remember this, Julian, because it was so bad, but before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out and they were going to announce a new world, there was this screenshot of this really, really shitty like render of Sora, Donald, and Goofy in Monstropolis. And I remember the internet being like, oh, Monstropolis is going to be in Kingdom Hearts 3. And I was like, no.
Oh, yeah, I remember
way.
That. Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, no, I have to find out. I have to know. So I saw the picture and I was like, dude, what the fuck is this? This is hot garbage. Like, it looked so bad. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. And then sure enough, I think like within the week of that coming out, they had a new trailer. And then you were over in Monstropolis. I was like, oh my God, dude.
Bruh.
No way. At that point, I was done with the leaks. I was like, okay, you know what? That's so cool because it looks so good compared to that really shitty photo. But now, at that point, I was done. I was like, I can wait now. As long as it wasn't Agrabah again in another Kingdom Hearts game.
Adam, maybe in retrospect, dude, having some classic like worlds like that would have probably done the game some good.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Like I think Agrabah would have been great. Like, imagine how free roam you could be in Agrabah, Like, dude. You know how Sora knows his how to do or a Keyblade Master. You know how they're so acrobatic with stuff like that. Imagine like all the stuff you could do in both, say, Halloween Town and Agrabah. I think it'd be pretty cool. But
I think it would be really cool.
But instead we got fucking Let It Go. Anyways, as for me, leak-wise, I try to stay away as much as possible, but sometimes I just can't help it. What game was it? There's a game where I did get leaked by a YouTube channel that I was subscribed to. I forgot. I think it was Kingdom Hearts. It always comes back to Kingdom Hearts. The ending was spoiled by but it was for a split second. And I just scrolled up real quickly. But I tend to just stay away from spoilers, except for movies that I know are gonna be like trash. Like for movie wise, like I looked up the spoilers for Star Wars, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go spend my money on this, but like gonna be disappointed regardless.
Oh boy, yeah.
Yeah, but as of recent memory, no, like leaks. No, I don't. Because I usually just I tend to stay away. Same with like trailers now. I'm not even watching like trailers for games that I'm excited for anymore because how trailers carry spoilers and stuff. All I know is I usually try to just look up like gameplay details and story details written in articles, and that's as far as I would get. But as for gameplay trailers, I'm gonna stray away from them and stuff. Unless they're like announcement trailers, then that's when I'll watch it and see if it intrigues my interest and stuff. But yeah,
man. To the second part of the question of stuff to avoid, I just don't look for it necessarily. When it comes to spoilers, I never really see it on my feed that much, so I don't really have anything where I'm like I can't see a spoiler, because I think for me it doesn't bother me too much. Because if I find out, and it depends like how long it is between if I do see some spoilers versus when I actually get into it. Like for Final Fantasy, right, for the remake, I've been seeing stuff listening to what's been going on in the remake, and I haven't beaten the original yet. So I was like, yeah, I mean, it's fine. Like I just want to get a feeling of how they're approaching the remake overall, and it just doesn't bother me when I get into it. But yeah, so that was the email. Thanks, Mark. As always, that's unversedpodcast@gmail.com.
Oh yeah.
And let's get into it, man. So I figured we might as well just start right off the bat because it's the hottest topic lately. And he mentioned it right here. Last of Us 2 got leaked, and boy, did a lot of stuff get leaked for this. I know you saw some of it, right, Julian?
I did, and okay. Should we get into it, Danny?
Did you see some of the stuff, Adam? For Last
No,
of Us?
I'm trying to stay very vanilla to it. But you guys can talk about it. That's totally fine.
I'll try.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to spoil anything really. It's just what got leaked was a lot of cutscenes. Pretty much the basic premise for the story. I guess they tease a third game at the end, or something like that. And
that's a lot of leaks, bro.
And just like the work ethic over at Naughty Dog was, I guess, really bad. Sony's trying to say like, oh, it was a hacker that leaked all this stuff. But a lot of the info is saying like a pissed off employee did it. So I'm gonna assume it's an employee from Naughty Dog. Was just not too happy because a lot of the leaked information was just the decisions that were made for the game and how frustrating it was to work on this game, and it's like the worst experience they had at Naughty Dog, and a lot of crazy stuff, man. Really wild to hear.
Yeah, it is a freaking crazy. Like, damn, like how they gonna, my stance with The Last of Us is, why did I get Jak 4 instead? But I've with time I've grown to forgive that and stuff, because I actually played Last of Us and I very much enjoyed the gameplay of it. The story was whatever to me. I guess the big twist at the end, the big thing at the end, where it's no surprise. I'm pretty sure everyone's played it already, but it turns out Ellie has the cure, and Joel chooses to not sacrifice her and stuff. But yeah, I really did enjoy the gameplay for that game, and I could see the impact it had with a lot of people and stuff. I get that, the same could be said about my favorite video games too, and I shouldn't bag on other games that give that impact to people who are actually fans of it, where it could be vice versa towards the games I like, right? So when I read the leaks and found out, because I don't really care too much about the Last of Us series. I care more about Uncharted, if anything.
Yeah.
But when I read these leaks, I was just like, wow, if they're gonna do that. I didn't see any videos or anything. I just read. and watched videos on it. But if they're gonna do that, Naughty Dog, Neil Duckman or whatever his name is, Duckman, I don't know, but I think I don't know, but I think they're gonna disappoint a lot of people, fans or not. I feel like, I don't know, man. Like, this is not. I don't think it should go about this way. I'm sorry. I don't know if that like puts off some red flags for you here, Adam, but like, I'm describing it without like spoiling it, but this is just how I felt as a person who doesn't really care for this, who doesn't really like, care too much about the series and whatnot, but as a person, as a gamer, as someone who understands the impact of series and what it means to them, I would find it disappointing the way they're going about it. That's what I gotta say.
I don't know at what point. I think it may have been with BioShock Infinite. Like when it comes to sequels or like additional installments, I try not to keep as high hopes for those kind of games. I mean, there's certain ones that are exceptions, like Kingdom Hearts, but and like the Persona games. But for anything else, I try to keep my expectations really, really low. Just in the event something like this does happen, it's like, okay, well, I didn't beat myself too much about it, Yeah. But it sounds really unfortunate. I was looking forward to Last of Us 2. Really enjoyed the first one. We'll see what happens, man. I mean, it wasn't really on my big list to play this year. But when I do get around to it, I'll definitely let you know my thoughts around it.
Yeah. And, next month, we're going to see it, man. Like, oh boy, I don't know what's going to happen. All I hope is that either, I don't know, it's too early to say what will happen. Maybe it's definitely going to spark up some controversy as it is now.
Mm-hmm. That's just crazy, though, that's a lot of leaks, man. Like that, I haven't heard of a game with that many leaks in a while. But I mean, I also try to stay away from them.
Yeah, man, so I'm going to take you guys to the very first episode of this podcast, right?
Whoa.
The first one we dropped, it was me, Grant, and Oscar. And this was, a long time ago. And we were talking about sequels for video games. That was the topic. And, we brought up Last of Us and how there was a lot of talk like, oh, maybe we'll get a sequel for how great a game it was and how well received it was.
Yes.
And Oscar's take on it was, if we do get one, I don't think we should get one, but if we do, then it would be Joel and Ellie. It should be whole new characters, just explore this world, let's go somewhere else, let's tell a different story. And at the time, I disagreed with them. I'm like, I understand your point, but if we would get a sequel, I would like to see what these characters could do in the future. I think that'd be pretty fun. And then now jump forward to now, after watching the trailers before the leaks, I was like, I'm checking out. I wasn't a big fan of what I was seeing. And then once I read the leaks, I was like, oh boy, yeah, Oscar was right, man. This is not worth the sequel.
Oh boy.
In my opinion, after reading everything and just seeing whatever was leaked out right for the cutscenes, it's just wild for Naughty Dog to go this route, because I think Naughty Dog's been on a pretty good streak since like the first Uncharted game, right? If we're talking about the recent generations, right? All Uncharted games are solid.
Yeah,
even the spin-off
is
a surprising good one, and then Last of Us is a great game as well. And just to see them make these crazy decisions, and then reading some of the explanations from Drunkman himself of certain choices for characters, because I guess because he was drunk doing this, right?
Oh, what?
No way.
No.
It's a play on his name. He's a duck man.
Yeah. And the craziest part is the feedback. I have yet to see anything positive.
Oh yeah. From
people's opinions on these leaks. And I don't know if you guys saw that article the other day, but they were saying, "Hey guys, the collector's edition with the Ellie statues are back in stock. Get them while you can, because people are canceling those pre-orders."
Damn.
Jeez.
Yeah. I also should note that we did get the release date, like Julian said. It's going to be in June. And I think it's also important to say that if you remember, when they delayed it, they said indefinitely. Mm-hmm. And when they dropped the trailer for the release date, it was the day after the leaks. So they're like, you know what? We're going to have to try to salvage this as fast as we can and get it out as soon as we can. So it basically took Ghost of Tsushima spot, because that was going to be in June. And now Ghost of Tsushima got pushed to July.
I feel like just from what you guys are saying about the leaks, I feel like there can't even be any damage control about it. Like it's already done, you know?
Yeah, the damage is done.
Just stick a fork in it, put it on for Thanksgiving dinner, and find out who eats it, you know? But
at this point they should just go with the ride, man. Good or bad, fuck it. You know, I mean, the leaks are out. Someone fucked up within the system, within their company, or the system. If it was a hacker, quote unquote, or someone on the inside, someone messed up, leading to these events to happen.
Yeah, and you know, I would have taken it with a grain of salt, these leaks. I probably would have believed them, but then when we got these cutscenes, and I was watching them, I'm like, oh no, these are real. Like you can't fake these cutscenes. And I gotta say they took decisions in the sequel here that it kind of makes sense, right? Because it's like, oh, what do you want in a sequel? You want to bump it up, right? You want to go into a higher scale of whatever the first game did. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, they do some of that in here, and I just don't think it's the right choices for a few of those.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll play well, right? It looks like the gameplay looks like it'll be fine. And you know, it's crazy. I don't know if you guys watched the trailer that they dropped for the release date.
The recent,
but there's like, the recent one. There's nothing near what the leaks showed off, and it also feels like they're trying to go a different tone with the trailer, so that way people could still be, you know, all for the game.
Mm-hmm. I agree to that, Danny, because when I watched it, it did still feel like, you know, a revenge story, right? It did still feel like that, but you know, with what I saw with those leaks, you know, I'm sorry, Adam. I don't want to like say too much because I really don't want to ruin this experience for you.
Oh, dude, don't worry about it, man. It's all good. I guarantee you, when I go through it, I will probably agree with you guys, but it's all good. Don't worry. Yeah. It's just an unfortunate thing, you know. You hate to see it happen, but again, like you said earlier, Danny, on the first episode of the podcast, some games don't need sequels. You know, they really don't. They're fine just being their standalone game. Perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, if it's a great story, just leave it alone. But you know, sometimes people just want to say, hey, you know, let's try something new, and dude, it doesn't always work, man. Like, look at the Star Wars new trilogy. That shit did not work.
We are not talking about this right now. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so big wowzers. That's all I gotta say. You know, and just letting it sink in right now. I really feel sorry for the fans of this of Last of Us. I really feel sorry for them. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of people I've been seeing that saying, like, I don't want to touch these leaks. I don't want to look anything. I just want to go in blind. You know, just go in a blank slate. And, you know, if you guys are doing that, if you're listening, you're doing that, man. I really hope you enjoy what you're gonna get.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because, you know, I'm like, okay, eventually I probably would have played the game, right? Once it came out, I would have watched some like videos on it and just see what the story was. But after seeing these leaks, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to touch this game at all. I just don't want to.
You know, one thing I will most likely guarantee that will be a thing, Danny, like I said about the first Last of Us, is the gameplay. The gameplay will surely be like really good, you know? Like,
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that's probably why I will buy it or wait or borrow it or something. But you know, I do want to play that gameplay. That's one thing I really do like, because Uncharted 4's gameplay was fucking sweet. I thought that show was
it's great. It's so good. Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, man, it's just really wild to see this type of thing happen for such a big game.
Yeah, right?
For the end of a generation, man. It's
crazy. It's, PS3, last big PS3 game was Last of Us. Brand new, everything like that. And now, God, it's kind of ironic or tragic that this will happen. But God, I'm making it sound so negative, and I don't want to, because I do want people to enjoy this. Like, if they can enjoy this,
Yeah, really hope you can, man. I will say this: they do decisions that try to be, I guess you could say, progressive, right?
Yeah.
With certain communities, and I won't necessarily say which one for spoiler reasons, but those communities were not happy as well with these leaks. So it's such a wild ride, man. It'll be interesting to see, like, launch month, the feedback is gonna be overall for this game.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But enough about that, man. Let's talk about some games that look pretty cool, right? We finally got that reveal trailer for Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Man, I can't wait for that God of War reference, Danny. Can't wait.
Man, I hope there is one. That'd be pretty cool.
I think guaranteed there's gonna be one. Because
I don't remember if there was one in Odyssey. Was there?
No, I don't. Possibly, I don't know. I don't think so. But with the new God of War being Viking setting, Norse mythology setting, I think it's too easy or too a given that it will probably have a reference or an Easter egg or something. But Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Now we're Vikings.
Yeah, so we got a very nice looking CG cinematic trailer for the launch or for the debut of the game.
Yeah,
I thought that looked pretty nice. And then we'll go ahead and get into it right after. But I guess I forgot Xbox did their streaming thing the other day,
I
their own direct. Yeah, and they said it was focused on third-party games. Their first-party one will be at a later date.
June, I think July. I think that's when they said.
Oh, was it July?
Okay. Yeah, so I can't wait for that because, oh man, we're gonna get Halo gameplay, and I cannot wait.
Yeah,
I love Halo.
But in the Xbox thing, we got a quote-unquote gameplay trailer for Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't know about you, Julian, but that didn't look like a gameplay trailer.
I agree, man. It wasn't, it was barely anything. What? This isn't a gameplay. There have been previous Assassin's Creed gameplay reveals that did a much better job with showing off gameplay. I think Unity did, it showed off what it was going to be. I don't know if it did it for Syndicate. I think it did it for 2, for sure. It did for Assassin's Creed 2 and 3. There was a gameplay reveal for 3. Yeah, so most...
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, most prior Assassin's Creed games have had, actual gameplay, possibly more than 10 minutes of a trailer thing, or 5 minutes, something like that, And instead of what we got here, it was I think it was less than 5, and it was barely anything, which I'm okay, that's what? I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Assassin's Creed anymore. I was, Black Flag, but I did play Syndicate a lot, and I do want to play Odyssey and, Origins and Odyssey, right? For the new gameplay style. But
yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I haven't been a heavy Assassin's Creed fan for a while. But this trailer, I like the concepts. That's another thing. When they talk about gameplay details and stuff, sounds neat. Can't wait for that. But
yeah. I don't know if you guys saw, but apparently you could do rap battles in this game.
wait, what? Rap battles? What the hell?
No way.
Yeah. I was like, what the hell are they? I'm like, I didn't know Vikings rapped. What the hell?
I didn't know the concept of rap was like known back in those days. Maybe, I don't know.
Hey man, that hip hop blood runs deep, dude.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, that looks cool. It's dropping this holiday season. It's for this generation and the next one. So yeah, I mean, I still haven't touched Odyssey, so if I'm interested in this game, I'm probably just gonna wait off for a while.
You know, I don't know. I wonder how these games have to do with the animus anymore. I don't know. I don't know anything about Odyssey. I really don't.
I think they just stopped.
Yeah. Okay.
Going to the present.
I see. Because I'm like, is the animus even mentioned anymore? Because I know it's like ancestors and stuff, so it could be anyone besides Desmond. You know, Desmond got taken care of like fucking since 3, so it's been a while. Yeah, I'm interested because I bought Origins and Odyssey because they were both really cheap at one point on PlayStation. So I bought those, and they're just waiting to be played in my whole backlog.
Yeah,
of games.
I think Grant told me in Origins, I think the Animus is used in the beginning. But I don't think it is for Odyssey. And I know it was used in the game before Origins, whichever one that was.
I think before Origins was Syndicate and Unity. I think Syndicate was before Origins. And I did play Syndicate. I did play it a lot, actually. I grinded so much of everything else besides the main story. So pretty much I'm like maxed out right now. I'm near maxed out. So I could continue and breeze through the stories. But no, you know what? The Animus is not used that much in that game for Syndicate. All it is, like, it's just the menu and stuff. Like, you know, that's all the menus in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. I think they're just done with the Animus stuff. They're like, let's just use the name Assassin's Creed, but let's explore all this other stuff going on. Which is what they're just doing.
Yeah, which is cool.
Because like Assassin's Creed Origins, right? That's the story about the first assassins or something, right?
Yeah.
But then when you play Odyssey's set before Origins.
Yeah, so it makes sense. So it makes sense.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. I was like, whatever, man. Just let me play a cool game.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to this Xbox stream, they showed off a lot of third-party games. They talked about smart delivery for Xbox, which is probably their biggest hit for Series X, I would say. And basically what they said is, I don't know if it's for all games, because some of the trailers they showed, it only popped up for a few that said smart delivery. But basically, if you buy the game, if you just buy the game for Xbox, you could play it on any Xbox, from Xbox One to Series X. So you don't have to worry about a generational gap type of deal, right? Like, I have the PS5 copy, but I can't, play it on my PS4. For Xbox, it's like, well, if you bought it for Xbox One X, you can play it on Series X and vice versa. So that's a smart move for them, for sure. I'm interested to see what Sony's going to do, if they're going to do anything similar to that, or just be like, we'll just stick with the backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
I wonder.
But that's good. That's good. I mean, that way they can, they're making it like, guys, we're going to help you out. We're going to, we're going to help you save some money, man. That's what it's telling me, and that's good. That's good. Less,
they showed off
less food in my fridge,
Yeah. They showed off a lot of games here. First one is, they said it's made by one person over in China, Bright Memory Infinite, which is doing a lot of stuff in there, right? I was like, oh, you got your wall running. It's like, oh, it's an FPS game. It's like, oh, but then we got some melee action going on.
Oh yeah, that first game, that one was crazy. I'm like,
yeah, it looked interesting.
Yeah, but it's probably one of those things where it's like, it's too good to be true. It might get dumbed down,
Oh yeah, I mean, graphically it looked pretty nice. It was very dark and it was raining, and all of that looked really nice. But it's more of like a demo of what the Series X can do, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they showed off this game called Scorn. looking like a horror style game.
It's just
cool.
H.R. Geiger in the game.
Yeah.
But that game does look sweet. I mean, I could have swore I heard about it though. Have you heard about it before, Danny? I could have swore I heard about something like that before. Maybe I'm tripping.
No, I haven't heard about a lot of what they showed off here. I mean, I do know of Vampire the Masquerade, and they showed off that Bloodlines 2 is happening.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for that game, man. That game is. It's gonna be for all my vampire freaks out there, man. And I know there's a lot of them.
That's me included, baby.
That's me, baby.
And if I'm correct, one of the games they showed off was The Medium.
Yeah.
Which they got the composer for the Silent Hill games to go on this one.
Yeah. Right? Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, the music does sound good from Silent Hill. So, this is probably good. This is going to have some support here.
Yeah, and this is a psychological horror, if I'm remembering right.
Sweet.
So that'll be interesting to see.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds like Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, Julian, there's that fucking game that looked. I was like, is this my boy Turok? No, it's just Second Extinction.
I know, that's what I thought too, Danny. I'm like, wait a minute, is this what I think it is? It's just Turok. It's Turok and Left 4 Dead mixed together.
Yeah, basically, yeah. When I saw it, I'm like, I know it's not Turok, but god damn it, man. Like, this could be it.
So close. We're getting close, Danny. We're getting close. Oh, my God. Yeah. But yeah, I did.
And my biggest surprise out of this stream was they actually showed off Yakuza 7.
Yeah.
Right? Or Like a Dragon, as it's going to be called here in the West. Mm-hmm. And they confirmed that, yeah, it's going to be launching on next gen as well.
Mm-hmm. Sweet.
And it's this holiday season. You could go pre-order it now for for PlayStation and Xbox. Steam is, I think, a later date on that. But that's cool. It's also interesting to see them call it Like a Dragon instead of 7.
Isn't that the sub name for it anyways?
Yeah. Because the whole point is he wants to be a hero like the Dragon Quest hero.
Yeah! I love that shit so much.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, so that's cool, man. And then they showed off some other games. And I was like, all right, cool. I mean, we'll probably get back into those at a later time anyways. Yeah.
Xbox. What was one of the things we were that racing game that came up and
Dirt.
Yeah, that's what it was like. We were like, is this Gran Turismo or Forza? And then when it says Dirt 5, and he's like, oh, it's just fucking dirt. Okay, I get it. It's fucking dirt.
Yeah. It was funny, man.
But yeah, man. The stream was. I mean, at least they told me I've got something else to look forward to, which I do.
Yeah. I mean, it was just good to see like actual streams from these companies, since they're not going to be and no E3. Paris Games Week got canceled recently, so yeah.
And it's possible too.
I'll probably get more.
We can totally do it. But you know what? Also, I thought, Danny, when they started talking about the games extensively, I'm like, you know what? It's just like a fucking convention at an E3. They're gonna keep talking about the fucking game. I'm like, I get it. You know?
Yeah. But yeah, once all the trailers were done, I was like, yeah, I'm done.
They just kept talking though, so you didn't miss that.
What year was it? I think it was 2018's E3. Mm-hmm. I think it was with Square Enix, right? It was just a digital only thing, and they just streamed all the trailers, and then that was it.
Yeah.
I just do that. I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, agree.
No. And then if you want the devs to talk, you could just throw it in at the end.
Yeah, and that's what they did here.
But anywho, moving over to some fighting game stuff that we got. We got the trailer for Ultra Instinct Goku.
Dude, he's cheese, man. I got diabetes watching that video.
Dude, he's gonna be so broken when he drops. I could already feel it. Feel it, man.
Honestly, I didn't even watch that trailer.
Dude, it's so...
I'm like, it's another fucking Goku. That's all I thought.
Oops, all Goku.
Yeah. It's his gameplay. I was like, yeah, I pretty much expected how most of his moves were going to be. It looks like he has a lot of counters going on, as you expect with Ultra Instinct. And you know, it being a season 3 character now, like you could just see the amount of work put in. You know, just like Gogeta, Broly, Kefla, like all these wild animations going on in his moves, which is really cool. And you know, it only makes me wish they could go back to the base roster and just add some of that stuff in there. You know?
Yeah.
I hope they come out with like a complete edition of Dragon Ball Fighter, where everything's reworked on, and then we see these effects with the base roster. So I think that would be really cool. I think those characters deserve it, especially Yamcha.
Yeah, well, because you know what's interesting with season 3, they finally decided, hey, let's actually change some mechanics, right? So you know, certain characters get certain more moves. You could change the assist type, you know, and it's like it took them 3 seasons to do this. You know, where you look at go over to Tekken, right? Every season has had like a huge system change for the whole game. So that's just the only thing they were missing, yeah, because. If you go watch a combo video for Dragon Ball Super Broly, and then you go watch a combo video for just regular Broly, like you could just see like, wow, it's just so different. And you would think they're like different games. Yeah, so that's the only thing I kept thinking. I'm like, wish they could just balance the characters out more, like visually. So yeah, that's May 22nd. In just like less than 2 weeks, we're gonna be getting him, and I hope. On the launch trailer for him, we could get a tease for the next characters.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're gonna get more characters.
Yeah, there's 3 more characters we haven't heard of yet, so I hope we get some of that soon. I mean, I know with the whole COVID situation, things have been, you know, in for a roller coaster for development studios. So, yeah. But other than that, man, MK11, we're getting a DLC.
Story
DLC. Like a story mode.
Yeah, it's really cool, actually. I'm actually pretty interested in that.
Yeah, it's a MK Aftermath, right? I think it's called.
Yep. Aftermath.
And then we see Shiva and Fuji returning to the game.
Which
their gameplay is pretty good. And then, dude, like out of nowhere, another guest character showing up, RoboCop.
Yeah, RoboCop. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming, to be I didn't see that one coming. I'm like, who are they gonna add? Is it gonna be like another character from Mortal Kombat? No, it's fucking RoboCop.
Yeah, when I saw him, I'm like, man, he looks great, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, I can see RoboCop in MK, I guess.
Yeah, but we'll see. I still haven't even played Spawn. But
Spawn again, yeah, Spawn just looks great.
Yeah, Spawn just looks really good.
So that's cool, man. MK getting more DLC. Yeah. It's always fun. Yeah. And we had some interviews. I believe it was with Nomura, right, Adam, for about the rest of the Final Fantasy remake parts.
Yeah, so the Final Fantasy VII Ultimania dropped only in Japan, I want to say in the last few weeks. And there's a couple people on Twitter that I follow that do really good translation work. And I mean, they're really just doing the good Lord's work just for that, because as far as I've read, there is no plan to translate that over to the States. So, so these translations are key right now for anyone that wants to know more about the Final Fantasy VII Remake lore that is going on. And, and I'll save this a lot more for when we do the Final Fantasy VII episode, but I will say if you're a fan of the original, you will enjoy the game, and any concerns you may have had for the story will definitely be washed away through the interview. Like if you go and read the translation, like they take note of everything that I was afraid of, and they were like, "Hey, no, man, don't worry, we got you." So it makes me excited for it. I really wish I could get my hands on the book just because it looks fucking awesome. But I think it's a really good interview that fans, new and old fans, should go and take a gander at because it will make you feel a lot better.
Hell yeah, I should. I'll take a look at it, man. I'll take a gander.
I'll send you the link, Julian, on Twitter.
Yeah. Do it, please. I want to see.
Yeah, man, after hearing that stuff, and I think Pat said it from Castle Super Beast. I think he said it best. It's like, oh, it's not really remake. It's just more like the rebuilds for Evangelion. And once he said that, I'm like, you know what? That makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, that's honestly the best way to put it. Like, just have to look at it as its own thing, man. Because I beat myself around for like 4 days after I finished it. Like, and then that's when I found out that the interviews were being translated. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna wait till that's translated, and then I'm gonna come back to it. But yeah, just a lot of wonky stuff, dude. A lot of crazy things with the ending. A lot of things I really didn't like. But again, just read the interview, man. It will make you feel a lot better, for sure.
Yeah. And, thinking about the rebuilds, I didn't finish watching the first rebuild yet. I should probably get back to that. But, I felt like how you were feeling, Adam, when they were showing some scenes. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? No. I was like, no, you can't do this like that. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And,
yeah, dude. And you just can't, man. There's certain things that should not be changed. Like there was, and this isn't too much of a spoiler, but the scene with Genova in the original was so fucking good, dude. It was like the bee's knees, man. Like and then when we got it in the remake, I was like, okay, you look cool, bro, but it's not what I want. This is not what I ordered, dude. Take this garbage back. But yeah, it's like certain scenes, they just can't be changed. No matter how much you want to make it look cooler, just leave it the same way. But again, I understand why they did that change for Genova specifically. It makes sense to me when I look back at it, but I'm not a fan of it. That's just one of many scenes that I'm not a fan of. But overall, it was a great game. I'm not gonna lie. Gameplay was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Once I figured out that trick that you told me about, Danny, with the camera control, made it a lot more smoother for me. The boss battles were so much fun. Leviathan was an asshole. I haven't fought Bahamut yet. I kind of just stopped playing the game after I finished it. But it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it overall. But I will keep saying this as a broken record. Just play the original.
Yeah, I'm in there right now. Where I left off is I'm about to hit the second reactor. You know what? I was thinking, I think I should just beat the game before I even dive in.
Honestly,
right? Adam, would you say that's a better option than just...
Yeah, because the main reason why is that they throw in concepts that are in post Midgar in the original game inside the remake. So once I started noticing that, I was like, okay, well, I'm glad I know the story, but if people don't know the story and then they just play the original up to Midgar, they're still going to be left with a whole lot of blanks. So I recommend just going through the game. Also, remember, if you haven't gone through the game, Yuffie and Vincent are side quests. So you don't have to get them in the game, but they are really cool if you do. When you guys leave Midgar in the original, let me know and I'll tell you where to go.
All right.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'm gonna try to get more into that. Just on a side note, yeah, I've read a lot of manga, so my manga reviews are backed up. So I'm gonna take a break for manga for now. And I'll be diving in more to the Final Fantasy and Neo 2.
It's time for that video game lording.
But on to some more stuff that we had here, man. We had the announcement for Disney's live-action remake for Hercules.
Wait, that was real? I thought that was just a joke.
No.
Nope, that's real. The Russo brothers are going on there. The Disney boys,
Oh, dude.
And I just hope they cast perfectly.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Agreed.
And I really hope they could get Danny DeVito to come back.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Because, if you don't get DeVito, I don't know, man. It's not going to be the same.
Like we were just saying, guys, there's just some things you just can't change,
Yeah, you can't, man. You have to do it the right way. There is no, we could do this. No, there's only one way to do it. You got to get the boy back for it, man.
You got it, man. I can't see anyone else being filled.
Yeah, and they really have to pick the right Hercules and the right Meg, of course, right?
Oh boy, oh man, Danny, you got me thinking. You got me thinking, man.
There's only so few women in the world that can really be Meg.
So they have to play their cards perfectly, man.
I'm sticking with that to the grave, man. And they better choose the right one.
I'm putting my foot down right now. Yeah. Disney. If they miscast, don't even talk to me, Disney.
No, I'm done. I've been done since Aladdin did so. But look, man. Like, if they're just gonna keep doing like, it's funny because I was watching Lion King again, the original, and I'm like, and I do remember the live action one, and I'm just like, nothing compares to this the animation work with the original 1994 movie to what we got in the live action one. Like, it just doesn't compare. And then I think to like Aladdin as well doesn't compare. Like, there's just two different things. Like,
there's just certain things you can't pull in live action that animated does.
Right.
I think the golden gems of that is definitely The Mask, right? The first one. That really pulls off the animated stuff well. Not only because of how Jim Carrey does it, right? Because that era, Jim Carrey is just amazing. And then they also do graphic, they do visual effects methods that they use in a 2D animation to make it feel more cartoony, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, like Roger Rabbit,
Oh, yeah. See, like,
and of course, Space Jam.
Oh, my Lord. But, it's definitely a thing of its time, Danny. But, like, who's to say you can't do it now, right? I guess they just choose not to. But yeah, man, it's just speaking about all the live action Disney remakes. It's just like I would rather much watch the original. Like, if you're gonna,
I think that's why I am interested in the live action Mulan movie.
Yeah,
right, because it's not trying to be exactly like the original, right? With all the musicals, with all the crazy characters in there, especially with Mushu, how expressive and animated he is as a character. By not having that stuff and kind of making it its own thing, that has me more interested, right?
See how it pans out. See how.
Yeah, because I have yet to watch the Lion King one, but it's from what I hear, it's literally just a 1-to-1 recreation. But because they're realistic interpretations of the animals, you just don't get what those lines should give you.
Yeah. You're better off watching the original.
So I wonder if they're going to have musical stuff in the Hercules movie. I mean, I'm sure they will, but I don't know if that's going to be the right choice for them.
Who knows, man? If they want to make it a serious movie like, say, 300 or The Immortals, bro, but I mean, go for it, but goddamn,
Did you ever watch The Rock's Hercules?
I did not. Was it good?
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, okay. I always like watching cheesy movies like that,
Well, that movie does a different spin on Hercules to where him being like the son of Zeus or super strong, like it's all just a legend. He's just a big buff guy, pretty normal guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so they're playing more off the legend, but there's some cool stuff in there. The Rock looks freaking badass.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, at the end, he does get some super strength for like the final big moments in the movie, which feels appropriate. I got my copy here if you ever want to borrow that.
Hell yeah!
I think it's worth a watch. Yeah.
I could give you back Underworld, man, which I finished.
Yeah, those movies, huh?
So good. So vampire goodness is what I gotta say about those movies, and like I said, they should totally make more Underworld movies. But I mean, if they don't, I'm totally okay with the 5 movies that I have. I'm totally okay with that. Mm-hmm. If anything, they could always continue on with comics or some other form of media. But yeah, those Underworld movies, I can't believe I slept on those,
Yeah, man. I was like, you know what? These are up Julian's alley.
Oh, yeah. Anything vampires, man. Up my alley. Have you ever seen 30 Days of Night, Danny?
I remember watching the trailers. I don't think I ever did watch that one.
You gotta watch that one, Danny.
That one is really good. I'm I'm not gonna watch. You know what I watched? Because it was on TV and my mom was watching it. I fucking watched Twilight again.
Oh no!
Oh gosh, which one?
I think the last two movies.
Oh,
And I'm
Jesus,
just,
I'm
you
sorry,
know,
man.
and I'm looking at it and I'm like, how was this acceptable back in the day? Like,
Dude, it was just horny people, man.
It was, and it's like at one point there was Edward and Jacob talking in like a tent. They were like in a tent together with Bella sleeping, and they're just talking to each other, like kind of like shit talking each other nonchalantly. And then Edward goes like, you know what, man? Under different circumstances, basically, he goes like, under different circumstances, I would probably be your friend, man. And then Jacob's all like, you know what, man? I'd probably be your friend too. But just because she's around, man, I'm not gonna be your friend. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Some goddamn shoujo bullshit.
Yeah, and then, you know, Bella just always going around like, oh, I like Jacob. No, I want Edward. Oh, I like Jacob. I like them both. Like, what hentai is this, man? I'm just kidding.
Hey, remember, 50 Shades of Grey is the hentai version of Twilight.
Oh my gosh.
Which I gotta watch too. I gotta get that one. Just how horrible it is, right? What was I gonna say? Yeah, 30 Days of Night, man, really good. It's based off a comic.
I should check that out.
It's based off a comic, and I have a few of those comics too. Fuck, I gotta dig deep in my comic boxes, but yeah, it's fun how gory they are. You know, you'll have a good time. It's really a horror movie. Speaking of vampires, I think I should get into like True Blood or something. I don't want to watch Vampire Diaries because my sister has already watched that one too many times, and from the gist of it, it's just it's just Twilight TV show. So that's what. And
Julian,
there's like spin-offs.
I recommend watching Salem's Lot. It was the TV miniseries of Stephen King's book.
I think I've heard of that one, but I'll check it out.
It's a fun ride, man. It's just really fun.
Hell yeah!
Like the story's pretty good. A lot of Stephen King stuff. The ending kind of falls off a little bit, but it's I think you'll enjoy it.
All right.
It's definitely one of my favorite vampire things that I go back to watch, besides Interview with the Vampire. Because
that's a good one too.
Dude, I read the book. Well, there's like a graphic novel where it shows like the backstory of Kirsten Dunst's character, of how she feels when she's a vampire. Dude, that shit made me cry, man. It was so good. I'll see if I can find the link for it and send it to you. Cause
Antonio Banderas is in that movie. He's a vampire with like long hair and shit. Oh, like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I always forget he's in there until he comes out and I'm like, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I like me some vampire stuff. I'll give anything that's vampire stuff a chance, even if it's fucking but yeah, dude.
Oh man.
Underworld. I had a great action films.
Yeah, those are good films. Always a good time. Hey guys, we actually got more info on this as well, but this was announced. Oh, I guess not really announced. It was posted the other day that it looks like we're getting an Inuyasha sequel out of nowhere. It's called Hanyo no Yashahime, which is the half-demon princess. We got more info, I guess, today on it. It's going to be an anime-only spin-off for it, which I kind of figured it was either going to be that or a movie, because we did get key character artwork for the main characters here. And it's surrounding Inuyasha's and Shishomaru's daughters. And so we had the first poster. The main poster dropped, which looks pretty interesting. Of course, you have Inuyasha Shishomaru in the background, and then you have 3 daughters on the front. And, just going in blind by looking at these characters, I'm like, okay, well, we have 3 daughters, right? Inuyasha Shishomaru, and I'm like, I mean, we could get Moroku's kid in here too. That could have been a thing, right? But turns out it's not. Looking into some of this stuff, it turns out Shishomaru has twin daughters, right?
I was just about to say, someone had twins.
Yeah, so if you guys saw the poster, it's the two in the front, right? And then the one in the back is Inuyasha's daughter, which I was like, oh, okay. I was kind of... I mean, I think the designs are fine for the most part. But it's an interesting premise here. So it says here, Shishomaru Inuyasha's daughters set on a journey transcending through time. In Shishomaru's daughters, Towa and Setsuna, they're separated from each other during a forest fire. And while they're trying to find each other, the older one, Towa, wanders in and accidentally goes through the tunnel that Kagome falls through, right? And now she's stuck in present-day Japan. And she's founded and raised by Kagome's brother in present day. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Ooh.
And then 10 years later, she stumbles upon the tunnel. That it gets reopened, and she's able to go back into the past to be reunited with her sister Setsuna, who is now working for Kohaku as a demon slayer.
Ooh.
So that explains like her outfit right there.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'd like the design a lot too. Looks fresh. Reminds me of Neo. But to Towa's shock, her younger sister lost all of her memories of who she was. So they're sisters, but the younger one just doesn't remember. So they're joined by Inuyasha's daughter, whose name is Mohora, and they travel between present day and the past on an adventure to regain the lost memories. And after listening to this premise, I was like, you know what? I could see this being a movie rather than an anime.
Yeah, I think it'll be a fun time. But I agree with you, Danny. This could definitely pull off as just like a really long movie.
I'm gonna be real with you guys. I've never watched Inuyasha.
Oh, dude,
you
need to get into
I
that.
don't know how often I mentioned it on the show, but Inuyasha was my shit back in the day.
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, I've only watched I've never sat. I don't know what it's about, but when I would wake up in the middle of the night and it was on Adult Swim, I guess I would sit down and watch a few minutes of it. But I don't know what it's about. I mean, it's just a demon wolf guy.
So this is the premise right here, Julian. Our main character, Kagome, is just your average high school girl who lives at a shrine with her family.
Yeah.
And then I forget exactly what happens, but she ends up falling into the well that's been sealed off. And that sends her back into feudal Japan when there's yokai roaming the lands. And while she's going through this forest, she stumbles upon Inuyasha, who's impaled to a tree by an arrow.
Okay.
And there's vines wrapped on him and everything. And what happens? Kagome eventually pulls the arrow out to set him free. He wakes up and kills this demon that's chasing Kagome. And he's like, why are you so familiar? And then they meet this old lady. And it turns out, this old lady is actually the younger sister of this woman, Kikyo, who was Inuyasha's lover at the time, who betrayed him and impaled him with an arrow. And so he was frozen on that tree for 50 years. And we find out Kagome is a descendant from Kikyo. That's why they look like each other.
Oh. Huh.
Through this first battle, Kagome shoots an arrow to destroy the Shikon jewel shard, or the Shikon jewel by accident that Inuyasha had, and so now they're on an adventure to go collect all the pieces. And then there's this demon Naraku and all that stuff, yeah. It's from Rumiko Takahashi, so you already know there's a lot of romance going on in here. Some comedy. I think the series is great. I got all the movies, I got the first 4 seasons, I'm in there.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, it's add that to one of the things I just been sleeping on, man. I had never,
And I'll tell you what, man, this was during the era of when I would go to Canada a lot during the summer. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, Canada loves Inuyasha, so they always played it, and I would watch it there as well.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Canada.
Yeah, good times. Now, my only worry for the series is Rumiko Takahashi only did the design for the main character. She's not involved in the story, which I thought was interesting. It's a little worrisome because I'm like, well, if you're not going to have the original writer there for a sequel series, I just hope they have people who know the series well enough to make it stand out.
I hope so, man. Otherwise, we're gonna get some Boruto stuff again. as long as we don't get aliens.
So yeah, so my only thing is how far into the future is this, right? Because we got some more imagery for this show. You know, Inuyasha marries Kagome at the end, right, as expected, and Shishomaru, you know, he ends up getting with I believe her name was Rin, and if you remember, Adam, that's the little girl who tags around with him in the series. And so that just got me thinking, I'm like, okay, yeah, so if she's the mom, you know, she had to get older, right, before they had kids. And then that makes me think, I'm like, so then I guess that was just around the same time Inuyasha had kids. So I'm guessing, I guess the earliest would be, this is like 20 years later.
Well, maybe like 20 or 15 years. She was like 6 or 7.
Oh,
yeah, she wasn't like
yeah
super young, but like no, because I think she gets older as the show's progressing. So yeah, I could see like 15 years later.
Yeah, because I'm assuming the daughters are probably like 15, 16, right? Typical anime age.
Yep.
So yeah, at least 15, 16 years. Yeah. So I'm interested to see what they're gonna do, how different the world might be. And if we're gonna get other recurring characters besides Kohaku, because if they're if all these kids are by themselves, you know, what happened to everybody else? But yeah, man, rare to see a sequel pop up in something that ended a long ass time ago.
That's the second one I hear this year.
I think it'll be a fun ride. I'm excited for it. You don't see this happen too often.
And it's set for fall of this year. So we're going to be seeing it real soon.
Oh, heck yeah. So I have plenty of time to finish my Sailor Moon run, then I can go back to Inuyasha. Dude, Sailor Moon is so good. There was so much of it I don't remember, and I'm like, damn, dude. Dude, and all the music slaps. So good. Watch Sailor Moon. This is a public service announcement to watch Sailor Moon. It's on Hulu.
PSA, watch Sailor Moon. And I've been watching Yu-Gi-Oh! On Hulu.
Hey, there you go.
Dude, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is fucking funny. I'm like, because I was just trying to take a nap one day, and I'm like, alright, let me just put something in the background. And I was just like, spending like 10 minutes trying to find something. And I'm like, you know what? I think I remember watching Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'm gonna put some Yu-Gi-Oh! On. And oh my god, dude, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't take that nap. I did eventually, but like at the moment I couldn't. But yeah, I think I'm gonna keep watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Man. It's getting pretty nuts. It's getting pretty nutty,
yeah,
dude.
Man. Dude, just wait till you get to Dungeon Dice arc.
Oh man.
Wait until you get into this arc where they go into basically like VR. Mm-hmm. And it's like medieval times, and like that's what the Capsule Monsters arc too.
Hell yeah, I can't wait.
Dude, I forgot about the Dungeon Dice monsters. Oh my god, dude.
Dude, Dungeon Dice Duel Monsters, man. Freaking, you had the edgiest new main character come in. It was great. Interesting concept. I wish they kind of brought that version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Back. Like as a video game or something. Yeah. Oh, and don't forget Tristan, one of the main characters, Tristan. He gets possessed by the 5-headed dragon card, and so they have to get him.
Oh, Yugi! Oh.
Yeah, good stuff, man. I was watching some clips not too long ago of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was like, oh my god, the freaking writing is just awful.
It's so bad it's good. To me, I've been having a good time. I'm enjoying.
Oh no, yeah, it was a good time just listening to Joey talk, and I'm like, Jesus, man, this is so dated.
Hey, Yugs. Fucking. Even like the side characters, like Weevil, the way he sounds and shit, it's fucking funny.
Yeah.
God, it was.
So I looked into it right now. So for the staff, the director, series composition, character designer, they've all worked on Inuyasha in the past for the
hell yeah.
So that's good. Yeah, it's from Studio Sunrise. I think they did the Inuyasha anime too back in the day. Yeah. And then music composer is going to be Kaoru Wada, who I guess did the soundtrack for D. Greyman.
Dude, she does good stuff.
Oh, that's cool. Cool, man. Okay, so that has my hopes up a little bit more.
Positivity.
Lengthwise, I hope it's like 13 episodes. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, I don't see it needing any more than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that'll be good to see. Yeah, it says autumn, so I'm guessing maybe October time we'll probably see it. And then lastly, we just bring it up real quick. There's going to be that Joe Exotic show going on. And Joe Exotic, from Tiger King. And who's going to be playing him? Our boy, Nick Cage.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Okay, first off, I haven't seen Tiger King. I haven't even watched it.
I haven't seen it yet either.
I haven't seen it either.
But Nicolas Cage playing... What?
Nicolas Cage is going to be playing Joe Exotic. And the stuff I've seen for Joe Exotic is just... It's right up Nick Cage's alley recently, so it's perfect.
All right. I did watch Mandy. So, that's
a good movie.
Yeah, it was a good one. I watched it, and I'm like, I need to watch, because I watched, the other day, I watched the second Ghost Rider movie, and I've never seen it before. Yeah, I'm like, damn, Nicolas Cage. You gotta love the man for his very expressive acting when he gets into it, when he gets into that one moment. He just really does a good job at that. But, it's one of those things where it's so bad, it's good sort of deal. But I love the man.
Yeah, I rewatched the first Ghost Rider recently, and I'm like, okay, it's still a little early 2000s, but I'm like, it's all right. And then I started remembering the Spirits of Vengeance scenes, and I was like, oh god, man, that's when that's like early crazy Nick Cage.
Oh yeah. I've never watched National Treasure, so I think I'm gonna go hop on Disney Plus and watch it.
Yeah, you should. I rewatched those recently as well. Those are still good movies. So with that, I think it's safe to say we could bring this episode to a close today. And like we said earlier, we'll do a more in-depth Final Fantasy episode.
Gotta grab our boy Carl in here too.
Dude, I've already.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start filling out my whiteboard with notes today.
Yeah, I should do the same. Should review back my. This is gonna be interesting because we got a perspective of someone who's never played it before, and it's just brand spanking new. And there was people who have played it already.
Mm-hmm.
Have so much experience with it. It's gonna be great. So far, I have had great discussions with other people.
Yeah, it's gonna be some spoilers for you, Julian. So I hope you're ready for it, man.
I'm ready, dude. Well. And it makes me wonder, like, when you tell Danny to play through the whole original one, makes me want to do that too, because now that I see that I could kind of sort of see the direction we're going, it does make me want to play, like, the whole thing of the original. That way I could get, like, an insight or something. But yeah, I get you. Spoilers.
And we'll talk about all that in the future.
Yeah, should be real soon for you guys when it drops. So yeah, we'll get that to you as quick as we can. Other episodes are going to be dropping regularly. Me and Grant are going to be doing more Gintama stuff now that I'm done with the manga. So look forward to that as well. And if you want to know when the latest episodes drop, go ahead and follow us on Unverse Podcast anywhere you go on social media. If you want to send an email again, that's at unversedpodcast@gmail.com. So thanks for swinging by, guys, and we're going to end this episode off with the boy Aerospace. He dropped a new track not that long ago, and it goes pretty hard, so go check it out.
Swap.